So the season has only been over 5 days for the 49ers, and we already have some big news to talk about it. Let's get into it now. Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Shifty's 49ers Talk. It's your boy Shifty. This one's going out to Niner fans near, far, NFL fans, sports fans. You know you're all welcome here. Today, we are talking about the news out of Santa Clara via Adam Schefter that the 49ers have hired Anthony Lynn as the assistant head coach. So I do want to talk about Anthony Lynn himself, and we're going to get into that a little bit later in the video. But the first thing that I want to talk about is that there are a few things that this hiring could potentially mean. So number one that I think that this hiring could potentially mean is the fact that Mike McDaniel, who's had his second interview with the Miami Dolphins, the Niners could be expecting him to be hired in Miami, and this way we want to have an experienced guy who can seamlessly come in, already ready to rock and roll basically, who can fill in for Mike McDaniel, who does a great job in his own right. And Anthony Lynn's specialty is running the ball. He's done some amazing work in the past with coaching the run game, so this could be our preemptive hire to replace Mike McDaniel. The other thing that this could mean, and you guys, this will be a tiny spoiler alert for my next mock offseason, but I think this could very well mean that the Niners will be looking to bring in quarterback Tyrod Taylor. Through a number of years, through his coaching in Buffalo with the Chargers, Anthony Lynn has coached Tyrod Taylor for multiple years. I think Tyrod would be a perfect backup for Trey Lance. They play a relatively similar style game where both of them think pass first, which is definitely what you want, but they are able to make plays with their legs. So someone who, let's just say, knock on wood, nothing happens, but should anything happen to Trey, I think Tyrod could potentially come in seamlessly and keep the offense going and win a couple of games. He's a very capable backup, so having that familiarity with Anthony Lynn is a huge bonus right there. So to me, those are the two big things that stand out, is that possibly McDaniel and then Tyrod Taylor. So Anthony Lynn himself, he's been a head coach for 4 years with the Chargers. He did have just a slightly positive record coaching, went to the playoffs before. He had a number of really good years. I feel like early on he did really, really well there. Had a really established run game, that kind of duo with Melvin Gordon and Austin Eckler. I think he did a really great job there. A little bit later on, there were some, and I'm not really sure all the details. I don't know too much about that Chargers team, but the run game seemed to struggle in his last couple of seasons there. However, before going to the Chargers with the Bills, they actually had the #1 ranked rushing offense, and I think that's something that we would love to replicate here. Overall, Anthony Lynn is definitely a very, very respected head coach and just coach in general in the league, and someone who I think would really, elevate the 49ers offense, and especially the run game in particular. Overall, I think this is a really nice hire because I want to say, and I'd love to see Anthony Lynn and Kyle Shanahan feed off one another. They do have some familiarity with one another, not that they've necessarily coached together before as far as I know, but interestingly enough, back in the day, Anthony Lynn was actually a 49er running back and Kyle Shanahan was the ball boy, so they have definitely crossed paths, and I'm sure just through NFL circles they've met and talked a whole bunch, and of course before the decision to bring him on, it also sounds like he turned down multiple other offerings from the NFL and the college ranks, so it's someone that he really obviously wants to be here. Of course, I could see this as a move in terms of his career, that he may want to launch himself to a team that has a very established offense with a bunch of good players to possibly get him into those conversations for another head coaching gig, which I think could happen sooner rather than later. Overall, though, love the hiring. My thoughts are really, really positive on this. I love the offensive coaching staff. hopefully McDaniel stays, because I would love to see what those, with McDaniel and Scangarello, who was the quarterback coach who has offensive coordinator experience, Lynn and Shanahan, that would be awesome. But even if McDaniel goes, I think having Shanahan, Lynn, and Scangarello, among other position coaches, I think I'd really like to see what they come up with. So those are my thoughts on the hiring. I'd love to hear what you guys think about Anthony Lynn. Leave comments, want to talk about it. Let's get a discussion going. And at this point, guys, you know that I'm about to say two things. The butt counts, and I'm going to catch you on the flip side.